continue our Managing Your Supply Chain series, and our next topic is connecting the right people on your team with the right people from your vendor. There are many levels of people who have different information for you and your team when dealing with your vendor. How do you make sure you and your team are connecting with the right people? Since we're both a vendor to some companies and a customer to others, we deal with both sides of this communication equation. This week we'll consider 3 questions for you to consider around the contact you make with your vendors. Does your main contact at your vendor know the status of your orders? Ideally, your main contact at your vendor knows what's going on and is feeding you information proactively. If they don't do it alone and get help from others in their organization, that's fine as long as you're kept informed. In a situation when time is of the essence, it helps to establish a deadline for the vendor's response. Make sure your vendor contact agrees on the latest time it's acceptable to get back to you. Radio silence is extremely frustrating and doesn't build confidence in your vendor. Do your teammates interact with their counterparts at your vendors? Typically, the member of your team that did the purchasing from your vendor will establish a relationship with the vendor's customer service contact. Many times, establishing contact between your other departments and their counterparts at your vendors provides important additional value to the relationship. 2 significant examples are quality and engineering departments. Your quality department is going to determine whether your vendor's products are acceptable or not. How your team will make that determination is important information that should be shared with your vendor. Your engineering team understands how your vendor's products relate to the rest of the project. Having a drawing review to ensure key aspects of the vendor requirements are clear, you can save a tremendous amount of time and frustration. Early in a customer-vendor relationship, it's rare that these additional counterpart interactions get started as part of the onboarding. Usually they only begin when something goes wrong. Much better to reach out proactively to your vendor to get things set up without the time pressure of dealing with a mistake. Does your company have weekly internal planning meetings or weekly calls with your customers? Most manufacturing companies have regular planning sessions, often weekly. These sessions are a key rhythm of an operational cycle that keeps things moving forward. Make sure you let your vendors know your most valuable time to get updates from them. If you give vendors your most important times for an update during a typical week, possibly prior to key meetings, then they can get into that rhythm and you'll have the most current information the most when you need it. Having your team connect with the right people at your vendor can ensure you get the information you need to be successful. Hopefully these questions helped you think about various counterparts you have at your vendors and how they can help you achieve your goals. Interacting with more than just their customer service contact will prove to be a plus when you're dealing with your vendors. In part 5 of our Managing Your Supply Chain Success series, we'll be talking about the quality systems of your vendors and how you can make sure they're established and functioning to meet your needs.